Kayak fishing this week. Inshore reports have been pretty slow coming into us. That's because the Gulf fishing is absolutely red hot. King mackerel, snapper, grouper are all easy catches to catch from the kayak right now. Here's a group that went out just off the west end of the beach here. They caught some kings. I'm sure they caught some Spanish. Look at this nice king that Linda Cavett caught on her birthday, nevertheless. Here's some pictures of her and her husband and some other people got back Sunday from their snapper and grouper trip. You don't have to go far out, and the best part about it, you aren't burning any fuel. If you're out kayak fishing, remember the weather's getting extremely hot in the middle part of the day. So you're going to want to fish early morning and late afternoon. That just happens to be when the fish are biting the best. Here's your peer report for this week. King mackerel have been coming through in nice schools. If you're there and they're red hot, you need a lot of cigar minnows to throw out there at them. But there's been a lot of dull periods in the middle part of the day. Check out this nice picture that Bob caught. Mid-30s fish. First cast of the day, he snobbed a cigar minnow out there, and this is what he came up with. He came back later in the day. The first cast on his next trip, he followed up with this second fish. And all of our peer pictures are all taken thanks to Ann Edwards Photography. And here's Ann with her second king that she's caught off the pier. Pompano have not really been showing up. Hardtail, bluefish, and ladyfish have been hitting straw rigs like crazy. You rig your straw rig. You have your clear bubble that you put on your main line. It stops on the swivel, and you put a little water in here to get some distance. You just simply cast this out and retrieve it very erratically, and you have a treble hook with a clear straw or McDonald's straw or any color on the end. We have these. They're very inexpensive set up here and very productive. So stop by Sunjammers and we'll get you set up to catch your kings, your Spanish, your bluefish, and ladyfish. Offshore report this week's been much like the last few. Red snapper are everywhere. If you can't go out there and get your limit of red snapper, you just simply aren't taking enough bait with you. Any of your inshore wrecks are covered up with red snapper. I was actually out yesterday at about that 9-mile mark. We caught plenty of snapper, good-sized beeliners. Unfortunately, all of our groupers were all at that 21 to 21.5 inch mark, all black groupers, so I personally haven't caught any. But Dr. John sent in this picture. They caught their limit of snapper. They got plenty of beeliners there, and you can also see they got some nice black groupers. Not sure exactly how far they went off, but the fishing off Panama City Beach right now is some of the best I've ever seen it my entire life. Amberjacks on all of your inshore wrecks. If you bow up on a big amberjack, you better be braced on the gunnel so you don't bruise your knees getting pulled over to the side. And whatever you do, don't let go of that rod. I've heard some rods being lost and also being broken this weekend on some big amberjack. Inshore report this week's been sort of slow. It's extremely hot out there. Your early morning bite for trout and redfish seems to be the best. The Spanish mackerel, bluefish, and hardtail and ladyfish have moved in the mouth of the pass, so you can kind of fish your inshore right there. When that's done, you can go to the island and soak up some rays. This last weekend, Jimmy Lindsay, who swears by gulp jerk shad for trout fishing, he went out and tried the new Excitebite. His report on it, well, here's a picture. Picture tells it all. So Excitebite on our wall. We are not making any more room for it. It's out the window. We do have a few pegs left with Excitebite on it, so if you want to come in and prove us wrong, if you come in, start using it and catch fish on it, we'll stock it for you. This last week, the river remains low, which means fishing for crappie has been extremely well. Crickets and live earthworms seem to be your best. The river is going to continue to stay low until they get some more rain in South Alabama, or we get some here locally. On a totally unrelated note, we had a customer in the store overhearing the price of crickets. He's like, $4 for 100. You can't buy 100 of anything for only $4. So he bought a tub of crickets to put on his nightstand. And that's it for this week. Check back next week, same time, same place for the Sunjammers Water Sports Fishing Report.